Hello and welcome back to another video. My name is Courtney. I go by Courtney on Posh on all platforms. And today I have my PFF Emily with me. Emily, where can we find you?
Hi guys, you can find me as Posh Nebraska, spelled normally that's on YouTube, Instagram, I think Pinterest. I don't have a website yet, but yeah, so Posh Nebraska across everything.
I love it. And I'll leave some links down below in case you guys want to easily and quickly click on her links. I want to know, how long have you been reselling for?
I started reselling in October of 2018, so a little over a year and a half. Yeah, I actually quit my full-time office job for it, and it's been great ever since.
And is Poshmark the only platform that you're listing on, or do you use multiple platforms?
I sell on Poshmark, Mercari, eBay, Tradesy. I think I have one thing on Depop. I've never actually sold anything, but those are my main ones.
If
Oh, ThreadUp too, sorry.
Oh yeah, ThreadUp is
Yeah.
a big one that people are venturing into right now. With the other platforms, if someone is only on Poshmark, which platform would you tell someone to try first and why?
I would say eBay. Mercari is good. It's really easy to use. I just get more sales personally on eBay. And it's just kind of good to know you can sell almost anything on eBay. Mercari is really easy to use, but I would say eBay. Just maybe watch some videos about how to best to use your listings and different tips, and you should be making sales in no time.
Love it. So when you went full time, you started in 2018. Did you go full time right away, or when did that transition happen?
Okay, so I quit my full-time marketing job in October. I had planned on leaving to do graphic design. That was going to be my main business. So I had no intentions of reselling. I've never sold, at that point, I had never done any reselling. I had not sold anything on Poshmark. So that was not totally my plan. And then after I quit, I kind of was trying to build up my graphic design business, and my family told me that I should sell some of my stuff on Poshmark. So I started selling some of my own things on Poshmark, and then I was like, this is really fun. This actually keeps me busy all day. So right now I'm currently doing more reselling than I am doing graphic design, even though I do still do a little bit of that. But
I love that. It's totally visible in your aesthetics that you come from a marketing and graphic design background. Before we jump into everything Poshmark, I just want to talk about social media and Poshmark itself and how that background you think helps you.
mainly like having a cohesive brand for yourself, I would say. So I'm not saying you have to have a perfect feed and all of your pictures have to match, but just create some kind of brand for yourself that people can recognize you. Like maybe people think, this is not a maybe. I know people think of cats when they, because they tag me and anything cat related that they find at a thrift store. So just figure out something that's special to you that you can kind of make your brand, and then throw that in your pictures and your stories and stuff like that, just so people recognize your brand on a daily basis.
I think that's so valuable too, because not only are you creating a brand, but you're being authentically yourself, and that's going to allow people to connect with you even more, which I think is just such valuable advice.
Right.
So when it comes to Poshmark, what do you think is the most important part of the process, from sourcing to making a sale? What's the most important thing to focus on?
Sourcing, I would say, for sure, because if your item you're selling is something no one wants, or it's low quality, it's a brand that people can buy for $5 full price, then it's just going to sit there and you're not going to be making any money. So I would say put a lot of focus on knowing your brands and price points and just anything you can learn about sourcing, because that's where it all starts.
So when you go sourcing, when you walk into a thrift store, what is the first section that you're going to hit?
I usually hit the shoes first. I know our area, I know a lot of people's thrift store shoes are really expensive. Most of ours are between $4 and $5. So I get a bigger profit off of most of my shoes. And I just like, they're easy to shop because they're just, they're right there and you don't have to flip through stuff. So probably shoes.
So if someone doesn't do shoes, like for me, I hate cleaning things, so I don't do shoes. If there's anyone else out there like me, what brands would you tell us to look for when it comes to shoes?
So some brands that almost always sell for like $50 or more, I would say. Obviously Birkenstocks, if you can find them. Even crappy Birkenstocks, I don't know if I can say that word. Birkenstocks that are in great shape, they still sell pretty well, and you don't have to do much cleaning because there's not much cleaning you can do on Birkenstocks. Danskos are really ugly, but they usually sell well for me. They're like the nursing clog shoes. Those are usually like $50 or more. And I mean, just check your comps. I usually don't, unless it's a really good item that I know is going to sell high. If it's really dirty, I'm not going to buy it because I also do not like to clean shoes. It's awful. But if I know I can either not clean it at all or clean it up really quickly and the comps are great, then I'm good to go.
I love it. So after you hit the shoes, what is your second best, second favorite?
Oh my gosh, you really got me like nostalgic. And like I'm in a thrift store right now
I
in
know.
my mind. Probably it depends the layout of the store. I don't like looking through pants, so I'll probably hit the shoes and then go back up, maybe do the dresses. I love to sell dresses. So shoes, dresses, tops probably would be and then jeans if I really am forcing myself to do it.
This is so funny to me because it's like the opposite for me. We have like opposite tracks that we're on.
Yeah.
If you could only source one brand for the rest of your life, what would your dream brand be to have your full closet be?
Um, so I was thinking of one brand I've never found before, would be Self Portrait. They're beautiful, but I mean, if that would be a dream, like just all those pretty like lacy dresses, gal meets glam. So I mean, I would never in reality find all of that here, but I would say that would be my dream. Pretty dresses.
Yeah. And what's one, or you could even say more than one if you want, brands that you feel like you started out selling a lot of, but just no longer move for you because of market change?
I would say this was probably just my lack of knowledge, but I used to buy a ton of J. Crew, Anthropologie, Free People. And honestly, I would buy like anything, even if it was like super old style. But now I know better, especially Free People. Just unless it's a new style that's super sought after, I just don't. And Anthropologie, yeah, there's too much old stuff of it out there, and I just does not sell for me well anymore.
I love that you recognize that as a learning process. So I want to touch on, if you could go back in time to when you very first started, what advice would you give yourself?
Definitely check comps more. Don't just buy because it's a good brand. If it's an older style or someone just on Instagram told you about this brand you should check out, doesn't mean it's going to sell well for you. It doesn't mean you can't try it, but definitely check comps because if it's $2, it's not worth buying if it's going to sit in your closet for 6 months.
I agree. And what about, is there any advice that you followed right away, which you wish you didn't?
I would say I spent a lot of time on like my photography backdrops. I bought like a whole photography backdrop stand, and I bought several different backdrops to hang on there. And I've done so many different things with my photography, and it's just not worth it. It's not worth the time or the money. And now I just use a wall and a board in front of natural lighting. I don't even use my lighting kit anymore. If you need that stuff, that's great. But just because other people are spending all of this money on stuff doesn't mean that you need to. And it doesn't mean that your stuff's going to sell quicker.
I full-heartedly agree with that. So with your board and natural light, are you doing hanging, flat lay, a mix of the both?
So the board with natural light, I use my poster board or the cardboard foam board, and I put it in front of a window, and that's what I do all of my shoes, accessories. If it's like a swimsuit, I do it on there, purses, small stuff. So those are the flat lays for my shoes, and then I photograph it over it. And then everything else I do hanging, so clothing, some bags I do hanging. I have a bar that I hang. And I do have a dress form, a mannequin I use if it's like a flowy dress or something that needs to be seen on a mannequin because it's like fitting weird or it's strappy. Sometimes blazers or structured pieces I'll do on a mannequin.
That's good advice, because there are some items where they're just so hard to photograph and they
Yeah.
just need that shape, because there could be the most stunning item in the world, but if it's not showing off that accent to it, there's no way it's going to move. So I
Yeah.
think that's good that you have that as a backup for those kind of pieces. I'm
Yeah.
sure maxi dresses are really hard too to
I
flat lay.
was gonna say, I don't know if you saw, but I purchased a bunch of like probably like 5 maxi dresses on ThreadUp, and I was putting them off because they are just, in general, they're hard to photograph because it's so long and like it's just hard. So I did those on my mannequin and they looked fine. I mean, people are still gonna buy it if they want it. So
So I love that you've been trying some thread up sourcing. How
Mhm.
are you feeling with that?
um I feel good if they're having like a 40, 30, or 40% off sale. I just started looking into the bidding. I think I bought one thing from the bidding. For the most part, it's still kind of pricey. I feel okay about it. It's a lot of work. I
It is.
feel like you just have to be on there all the time, which I mean, what else am I doing, I guess? But it's a lot of work. It's not as easy as going in. I mean, thrifting in a store is a lot of work as well, but it's just not as easy. And you're paying more. At least I'm paying more than I usually would be, and check comps on every single item, and it's a lot of work.
Yeah, and there's less room for mistake because of that price difference as
Mhm.
well. So I feel you on that. Talking about pricing, when you were to go to a regular thrift store, and maybe even now with online sourcing, do you have a budget that you try to stick to?
I just make sure that I don't have a death pile. So if I have a death pile, then there's money sitting there and I don't really need to be outsourcing. So as long as I'm validating that I need more inventory, I'm fine with spending whatever. I shouldn't say spending whatever. I do budget like per item. Like I'm not going to spend $10 on a top or something, but
Been having so much fun highlighting all of you guys, but I'd also love for you guys to share a little bit of your community with us. So, who are 3 people that really contribute to your reselling business?
yeah, so I have a couple girls that I've actually met in my same town. We've done, one of them is Crazy Flippin' Mom, Emily. Which we have the same name and our husbands have the same name. It's beyond me, but anyway. We have thrown like Posh and Sips together and stuff like that, so that's been fun. And then another one is Sydney Odelia. That's her handle is at Sydney Odelia. She is a young girl boss. She's only 22. She's still in college, and she's also in Omaha. And I just text her a lot. She's super mature for a 21-year-old. And yeah, she's just a lot of fun. And then I would say I haven't met her, but I talked to Wild Magnolia, Maggie. Her hashtag or her handle is Wild Magnolia. She's in Wisconsin, and I talk to her quite a bit. She just has Harry Potter in common with me, and just a lot of fun things. So yeah, there's
Are,
more, but those would be my main 3, I would say.
are you a Hufflepuff?
Yes. How do you know? Can you see my robe and my wand?
Oh, I can't. Wait, where is it?
It's in the closet. Oh, actually, I think my wand.
That's so awesome.
I went to Universal last year, I think.
I
I spent way too much money on that.
I need to go. I have no excuse because I live here.
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
It's magical. It's magical. Just be prepared because the wand and the robe is like $180.
Okay, good to
But it's worth it. It's worth your excitement.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing your posh journey and your wizardry with us today. I had so much fun connecting with you. I'm going to leave her handle as well as her friends' handles down below so that you guys can check out her and her community all in one simple click. Thank you so much for coming on today and have a great rest of your day.
Thanks. Bye.